Hey, what's up guys? Jake here with Success Motors. I've got a walk around video for you today. As you can see, I've got an awesome Ford Excursion behind me. I'm hiding behind it right now because just a little heads up, I have a great microphone, a great camera setup, but it's very windy down here in Texas today. So if you hear some feedback or some wind, my apologies. I will try to keep the microphone out of the wind the best that I can. But nonetheless, if it's your first time with us, welcome. My name is Jake, and I'm the owner-operator of Success Motors down here in College Station, Texas. I'm going to do a 15, maybe a 20-minute walk-around video of this Excursion. I'm going to point out all the flaws. I'm going to tell you the history. I'm going to drive it. I'm going to show you under the hood. I'm going to show you underneath it so that you know everything about it. Predominantly, we sell a lot of these Excursions out of state, and a lot of things can be hidden in pictures. So make note of that. Whenever you're looking at Excursions, when you're comparing this one to another one, man, if all you've seen is pictures, a lot can be hidden. So I started doing these videos because I want you to know every rock chip. I want you to know every flaw that I'm aware of so that you can have a good idea of what you're buying. Now, I do always recommend come to College Station, drive it for yourself, have a mechanic come look at it, do your due diligence before you buy it. But if that's not in the cards for you, we can handle everything electronically if this video is sufficient for you. Nonetheless, like and subscribe if you wouldn't mind. It's always a blessing. Now let me get out of the way, and again, forgive any type of wind noise. I'm gonna do the best I can to keep the microphone hidden. And I'll try to get inside as quickly as possible. But this is a 2005 Ford Excursion. It is a 6-liter Powerstroke diesel. It has been bulletproofed. I'll show you underneath. So it has I believe it has the Bulletproof diesel brand fuel, or I guess coolant filtration system, and I'll show you that in a minute. Some of y'all might know more about that than I do. I've only encountered the parts that are on this one twice, and so some of you might even know more about it than I do. But it does have the head studs, and it does have the bypass coolant filter. It's just in an interesting spot. So it's a great bulletproofed truck. It runs phenomenally. I've got $6,000 or $7,000 worth of receipts for work that was just done to it. The previous owner actually worked at a Ford dealership, and I've got pictures with this thing with the whole cab off like 2 months ago. They went in and they replaced, my understanding is about $5 grand or $6 grand worth of work, all the gaskets and seals and everything to keep it from leaking any oil. Apparently it had some oil leaks. Now it doesn't have anything because all that has been replaced. Plus it's got new injectors and it also has new brakes. But anyway, I digress. It's a 2005 Ford Excursion. It is an Eddie Bauer. And no, it looks like a 2 or a 4-wheel drive because it's lifted, but it's actually a 2-wheel drive with a 6-inch FabTech lift kit. So this one is not a 4-wheel drive. I know, a bummer for some folks, but it's still an epic Excursion, and it looks the part, and it runs and it rides great. The 6-inch FabTech lift with the 35-inch tires has this thing running really good. So it's an 05 Eddie Bauer 2-wheel drive, and it has 235,000 miles on it roughly, but it is bulletproofed. We've got $6 or $7 grand worth of receipts done, and it runs and drives great. All right, let's get in a little bit closer to it. You can see we are running a set of Falcon Wild Peak size 325/60 R20, and it looks like they're MT branded wheels. Not sure the brand there. And then you can see in there the coils from the FabTech lift. Southern truck, by the way, clean title, no accidents, no rust. I repeat, Southern truck, no rust. Now it does have a few little rock chips in it. I don't want to cut ahead to the hood just yet because we'll wrap around and do this part. But you know, it does have some rock chips in it. The paint feels good. We didn't do a paint correction. We did do a clay bar, but we didn't do a paint correction. It feels really smooth and really good. There's not really too many issues with the paint, but it does have a few rock chips, so be aware of that. We're on the passenger side door. Again, it's a pretty clean rig. Paint's in good condition. Now it does have a few spots where clearly it had the paint flaked off, and then somebody came in and did like a very mediocre patch job, threw some primer and some paint on it. So just be aware that right there, you can't even see it from here, but if you get up close, it clearly had a patch of paint pop off, and somebody did a very mediocre job of correcting that. Again, from a distance, you can't actually see it. but up close it is there. Does have, again, a couple of little chips, probably some road debris from driving. It's a cool Excursion, cool history. It's clean, it's nice, it's gonna be priced right. It's a diesel, it runs good, it's fully state inspected, no rust, like I said. It does have a 4-inch turbo back exhaust with a Banks exhaust tip. Kind of the same thing. From here you can't really tell, but somebody did a so-so job of painting over, probably a flake of paint had come off right here, as well as right here. Again, from a distance, you can't really see that, but just make note, it has a paint that's been patched right there and right there. However, haven't seen any dents or dings so far, just a couple of issues in the paint. Again, these tires are, I didn't replace them, but they are, I mean, basically brand new tires. Also, it has a set of helper bags in the rear, so it does have onboard or airbags. I don't know that it's got an onboard compressor, but it does have airbags in the rear. Has a Viper alarm system. Has a pretty nice upgraded stereo, which we'll get into inside in a minute, but you can see Eddie Bauer. Again, good condition. Paint's not perfect, but it is very nice, especially from 10 feet away. Here's what those patches looked like. There's one right there that hasn't been repaired. Looks like just the paint flaked off for some reason. Other than the few paint issues we've seen, though, the body is in really good condition, really straight condition. Again, no dents or dings that we've seen so far. Just some flakes in the paint and some rock chips. Beautiful, beautiful. If you have any questions, give me a call, 979-202-1948. Again, trying to do this kind of quick because of the wind. Although it's not too bad right here, hidden behind the Excursion. Yeah, so no dents so far all the way around. Again, just more of the same. Light scratches, light rock chips, and a couple of big areas that have been repaired that, again, you can't really see from afar, but they are there. All right, so check it out. Here is what I'm talking about. Some of you might know more than I do, but I believe that is the legitimate Bulletproof diesel branded coolant filtration system. They relocate it down underneath the driver's side front. I've seen this twice. This is the second time I've seen it. I believe that's a high dollar situation. Now, I could be wrong, but I believe that's what that is. So if you know more than I do, let me know. But again, tires are all new all the way around. Front looks good. The 05, of course, has the upgraded or updated front bumper and grille. This one's been paint to match, or it might have come from the factory like this. By the way, this is probably the most popular or most sought after color combination. Tan on the bottom, white on the top. Looks good. Overall, again, not any oxidation on the paint, just a few areas where it's flaked off. I don't know if this is the original paint or not. It appears to be done very well, like it is original. Just a couple of areas where it's been chipped. Underneath looks good. That FabTech lift looks like it was done right. It drives good too, by the way. Handles good. Doesn't really handle like a big lifted Excursion. Let me show you here. Does have your amp research. It does have the amp research side steps, which that's cool. No rust anywhere. And again, let me show you up underneath it. No rust. Everything looks really, really good. Let me go ahead and start this thing up. I'm gonna start it up here. Not a cold start, but it fires right up. Let me show you these invoices that I have right quick. So again, it was owned by a guy that worked at a Ford dealership. Check this out. What is this for? Let's see what it's for. Oh yeah, it does. Multi-point inspection. It had a no crank, so they did the fan clutch, harness, rotor 2, pads, So 2 rotors, 1 set of pads. But yeah, it had I guess it had a no start and ended up being the fan clutch. So they replaced the fan clutch and harness. We did 2 injectors, 2 Motorcraft branded fuel injectors. Just had that done, and it just had kind of a rough idle. That's why we did it. So we went in and our mechanic looked at it, and it just had 2 injectors that needed to be replaced. And then yeah, here we go. So about $4,600. They went in and checked for oil leaks. Oil leaks found at valve covers, oil pan, upper, lower, rear main. So it just had a bunch of, I guess it had a bunch of little oil leaks. So they replaced it all. So again, I've got pictures. Hopefully I've listed that in the description or in the pictures with the cab completely off. And they replaced all the seals and gaskets to alleviate all the oil leaks. So now it should be dry as a bone up underneath there. And then again, our mechanic, he went in and I told him, hey, said, look at it, see if it needs anything. It's just been serviced. It just had fuel filters and oil filter and oil change, so it didn't need any of that. And he said, man, the only thing that I could see is it's got a little bit of a rough idle at start. And he said it was, they tested the injectors and it had 2 injectors that were going bad. So we swapped those 2 injectors. Now it starts right up. It idles perfectly. You can see right here, it does have 238,447.4 miles. No lights on. It does have your aftermarket Kenwood stereo. It does have, like I said, airlift, airbags, and then it also has, it's wired up for a sub. I think the sub's been removed, but it's wired up where you can have independent control of your sub there. Interior's clean. It's the 2-tone. Little crack in this seat there. This is the original seat. I decided not to replace it. Power seats do work. It's in good condition. Headliner looks clean. Steering wheel is clean. It's in good shape. Dash is clean. Windshield is free of any cracks or stars. You do get your memory seats and your adjustable pedals and your power seats and heated seats, of course. Oh, and this one does have 2nd row buckets. So that's actually harder to find, a harder to find option, 2nd row buckets. And then we do have the rear infotainment. I never test this. I never check to see if it works. I assume it does. You can see the screen's not cracked, but I don't test those things, assuming most people probably don't use them. Carpets are clean. Carpets are really clean, actually. 2nd row seats here, they're clean also. No rips or tears in the 2nd row buckets. And then your 3rd row looks good. Also, headliner looks very clean. No major issues. Rockers, again, no rust. And let me show you the roof. The roof's in good shape too. Couple little flakes here and there, but overall, roof's in great shape also. Coming around back, both doors open, no issues there. Carpets are clean, and like I said, it's already wired for a sub. The sub's just been removed, so if you wanted to wire it or put a sub back in, you could. Again, headliner is clean. Does have a backup camera. Nice and quiet idle, not too loud at all. Sounds good, you can hear the turbo, but nice and quiet. Again, 3rd row, headliner looks good. You can see this seat is clean. Again, carpets are clean. And pre-search side steps. Interior is very clean. Minus the cracking on the driver's seat, the interior is very clean. Passenger seat looks like it's never been sat in. Again, this is the original seat. We didn't reupholster it. Looks like maybe wired up for a phone, for a USB right there. Yeah, so let me show you under the hood, and then we'll take it for a test drive right quick. But super nice Excursion. If you guys have any questions, definitely give me a call, shoot me an email. It's gonna be priced right, especially for a Bulletproof 05 diesel. Batteries are date code 822. Amp research is where that, that's for the side steps. You can see the stud down there. Do a blow-by test for you. Not moving at all. Yeah, so there you go. 2005 Ford Excursion, Eddie Bauer, 6-liter Powerstroke diesel, 2-wheel drive, 238,447 miles. It has been bulletproofed. I believe it's a 4 or 5 owner, but it's been a Southern truck since new, so no rust. What do we have? We have the 6-inch FabTech lift. We've got the new Falcon tires. We just had $6 grand worth of work done getting all the seals and the gaskets replaced, so no oil leaks, or at least it shouldn't. I didn't see anything on my shop floor, and that was just done months ago. It had the new fan clutch, had a couple of the rotors replaced, a couple of the injectors replaced, aftermarket stereo. Yeah, man, it's just a nice excursion. It's a good running, driving excursion. I've probably driven it maybe 50 miles or so. AC works, windows work, mirrors work, locks work. That guy works. Let's take it for a test drive. Let's see, this guy kind of looks like he's on his phone. Let's see here. Yep. All right, going for a test drive. If this one's not tickling your fancy, we do have several other excursions listed for sale right now. Be sure to check those out. But this is a nice one. It'll be priced right. And I think it'll be a good, clean excursion. These 2-wheel drives, they always drive a little bit better than the 4-wheel drive. And that's even true with this big 6-inch lifted 2-wheel drive. Steering's tight. Let me just show you also, I forgot to show you the mirrors. They got a little discombobulated because of the wind. So if you've watched a bunch of these videos, you know I did this a little out of sequence. There's all the window check and lock check. The wind got me a little discombobulated. First shift was perfect. Those first 3 or 4 shifts there were phenomenal, very smooth. You can see I'm one-handing it right now. It's not a handful to drive, even though it's lifted and got 35 by 12.5s on it. There we go, we're in 5th gear now, going 60 miles an hour, 1,500 RPMs. Just a rig, guys, really drives good. Transmission is very smooth. Steering is tight. Again, I'm one-handing it right now. Now I'm on the brake pedal. No feedback in the brakes. No drama. She seems to be a good rig, guys. Again, our mechanic did look through it and he said he didn't see anything of consequence other than the 2 injectors. If you have any questions, give me a holler. I think this one will sell quick. What's in here? Oh, just a quarter. I'll even leave the quarter and dime in there. I'm going to keep the video going for just a tad bit longer just to drive it so you can get a good idea for it. Let me turn the radio on too. Speakers work. Stereo works. That looks like a newer updated Kenwood head unit. That doesn't look like an old one. That looks like a nice one. Off we go. Well, guys, there we have it. Really a nice rig. So I think to summarize, the only flaws that we really saw were the paint, the kind of paint issues, where it has, I think, 3 spots that had a pretty big chunk of paint that had flaked off, that had been replaced. Looked like they primered it and painted it, just not a great job. And then 1 spot that they hadn't repaired yet. And then a couple of rock chips. but we didn't see any dents or dings or major body damage. Other flaws, just a few little cracks in this driver's side seat. But otherwise, it's a pretty straight shooter. Seems to run good, drive good, good condition, fully inspected, ready to rock and roll. Guys, let me know if you have any questions. Of course, come to College Station, put your hands on it. But if you can't, we can deliver it to you anywhere in the lower 48 and handle the transaction completely electronically. But anyway, God bless you guys, and we'll talk to you soon.